to make the motion because they have endorsed it.
Mr. Chair,
And
thank you for
I
your
will,
indulgence.
Between Frank and I will get a message to Katz to make that motion.
Okay, cool.
One other thing, one
Mr.
other
Chair,
bit of information.
Commissioner Cardenas is here. Thank
What
you for your indulgence.
information will the ad hoc? So they will.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is August 10th, 2021, and this is the meeting of the California Fair Political Practices Commission Budget and Staffing Committee meeting. Good afternoon, Commissioner Cardenas. Let's go ahead and call the roll.
Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Commissioner Cardenas?
Here.
Chair Matich?
Here. Go ahead and proceed to item number 1, public comment for items not on today's agenda. Do we have any public comment for items not on our agenda today? Hearing and seeing none, we'll proceed to item 2. That's approval of the February 11th, 2021 committee meeting minutes. Commissioner Cardenas, do you have any edits or comments on the meeting minutes?
No, I don't, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Hatch's name appears to have been spelled correctly, so that's
always a good thing.
That's what he used to say.
Yeah. I will move to approve the committee minutes.
Second.
Commissioner Cardenas?
Yes.
Chair Matich?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. That brings us to item 3, our main item today, and this is the fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. Under our internal operating rules, our Chief of Administration is required to present this budget first to the Budget and Staffing Committee before presentation to the full Commission. Ms. Hahn, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioner and Chairs. I'm here to present the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 annual budget. As you can see, this budget is similar to the one that I presented back in February. Actually, it is exactly the same that I presented back in February. And so the only things I would like to point out is the third line on the chart, the funding line, that we received permanent funding for one position related to AB 2151, the local campaign filing. And then we got approval for 3 permanent positions going forward with the previous limited term funding approval based on AB 249 on California Disclosure Act. And below that, I wanted to point out that the budget allocation for office expense, every state agency has been asked to take a 5% reduction from the operating budget. And I have a reflection of that on the very second to last line. It shows that we have taken a $100,000 reduction based on that request. I'm here to answer any question that you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Hahn. Commissioner Cardenas, any questions for Ms. Hahn?
Ms. Hahn, good afternoon. Wonderful to see you again.
Good afternoon.
So this budget contemplates no changes in staffing level, at least from an authorized budget perspective, FTE?
Correct.
So the 5% reduction, that the operating expenses is defined as net of salary, wages, and benefits?
The operating expenses for operating for rent and equipment, the overall operating with contracts and stuff that we take into consideration. So it really has nothing to do with staff salary.
I see. Thank you very much. No further questions for me, Mr. Chair.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Cardenas. Ms. Hahn, you mentioned that we had received approval for 1 new position, I think you said, for local campaign filings. That's Assembly Bill 2151, and then California Disclose Act, Assembly Bill 249. Have we filled those positions yet?
They are currently, some of them are being currently advertised, and then there's a couple that actually has been filled already.
All right. And then with respect to the 5% reduction, can you just briefly explain where did we find the 5% to cut from our budget?
So the $100,000 5% reduction we've taken out from our category of general expense, which included some of those benefits that we provide to staff while they're at work, such as their commute subsidies, the office furniture that we would have to acquire, which we didn't have to acquire much new furniture that we foresee, and then also travel that we've taken out, in and out of state travel that reduced. And then we also reduced it based on Department of Technology notification of our audit that we would have to perform. And they delayed the audit till the following fiscal year. So this year we wouldn't have to acquire that audit cost. So that's one of the areas that reduce our overall expenditures.
Right. Do you have any information as to whether or not this 5% reduction in our budget is going to be an ongoing 5% reduction for future years, or is this a one-time reduction and that money will be restored?
At the time the governor office issued the budget letter, it was told to us that there was going to be an ongoing reduction for state agencies. And as of today, I have not told otherwise.
All right. It just occurred to me as you were explaining where you cut the 5% out of our budget, that part of that, and I remember we talked about this, had to do with the fiscal year audit, which we were able to do because that audit wasn't required this year. But in future years, when we do have that audit expense, how are you going to find additional savings in those years then?
We probably would have to shift money around in different categories in order to make up the difference between the audit year and the non-audit year.
All right. So assuming this is an ongoing thing, this will be an ongoing challenge for you to continually find an extra 5% to cut from our budget?
Correct.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate your creativity in undertaking this. All right. Commissioner Cardenas, anything further for Ms. Hahn on her budget report? All right. Thank you. And
no, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment on item 3? Hearing and seeing none. Ms. Hahn, we will accept your report as submitted. Commissioner Cardenas, anything further before we adjourn, sir?
No, Mr. Chair. Just happy to have made such a dispositive contribution today. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Your contributions are always appreciated and dispositive. So with that, I will move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Please
Commissioner Cardenas?
Yes.
Chair Matich?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will see you in 2 weeks for our regular meeting. Thanks.
Take care.
All right. You too.